Yeah, I'm back, I think. Uh, yeah, I kind of had to take an unplanned sabbatical there last week. Somewhere between Wednesday night and Thursday morning, my voice just completely gave out. And I was essentially left unable to speak for about 4 days. Um, really, my voice only came back last night. While I was at work, I began to uh, I was able to start using it again. It was rough in the beginning of the night for sure, but I guess now I'm back, so yay for that. But I really didn't miss it. I mean, yeah, I kind of sucked not being able to do the live stream or any kind of uploads between the last one and now. But I mean, apart from that, honestly, as much as I hate my voice, it was kind of nice not, that to actually have an excuse to not be able to use it. To be mute for a few days was actually pretty refreshing. Almost a comfort, if you will. I know it probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's the way it is. So, yeah, apologies for the lighting today. I know it's a lot harsher than it usually is. Unfortunately, the light on my tripod decided to shit the bed when I turned it on today. So, actually, let me go grab that real quick. So it's kind of a thing where you get what you pay for with Amazon. And yeah, so I have this light here. It's a USB powered thing. Bought it over the summer. And yeah, so this was providing all the lighting for the last couple dozen videos. But now I turn it on and that's it. Can't do anything with it. I guess I'm shocked that Steven's staying on this much. But now I can't do anything with it. So I feel like I got a hair on my lip. So anyway, this light was what I was using for my background lighting, and yeah, now it doesn't work. Well, it worked there, but I can't make any adjustments to the brightness or the color of the light. I mean, I'm supposed to be able to do 3 different shades of color, to match whatever environment. I was going with the blue, but it seems like it's stuck on yellow right now. So anyway, so we're stuck going back to the before time where I was using the overhead, main light for the room. I feel like it's a lot harsher, so I don't really like to use it. But what can I do? Yeah. So that said, yeah. What has the last week wrought? um, gosh, it yeah, it was mainly dominated by the whole thing with my voice. Just it's hard to put into words, but yeah, I kind of was glad for it. I mean, I really don't like my voice. I don't like the way it sounds. I don't like the fact that I can't really manipulate it the way I need it to. It just does its own thing. The way that I'm talking right now, it's the best I can do. But now, if you take me out and put me in a social situation with someone I know or someone I don't know at this point, it's totally unpredictable how it's going to sound. I mean, I know I talk about this a lot, and sorry if that pisses you off, but it's me, okay? It's really all I can do is piss people off. But yeah, some days I'll go out and talk to one person, and my voice is it's stable, it's steady. Actually has somewhere between an androgynous and a feminine leaning to it. Other times, I will go out there and I'll just wind up sounding like a fucking sack of shit person. There's really no way for me to accurately anticipate how it's going to sound, because it really just does its own thing. So having that possibility removed from the equation, even though it was just for a couple of days, was kind of liberating. Stupid as that may sound, it helped. It really did help me to feel, I don't know, less pressured, less dysphoric than I usually do. So it kind of worked. Now, usually I get this and it'll last, maybe an hour or 2 or 3 hours at most. So this was the first time that's ever happened for multiple days. And as for the cause, I got no idea. All I know is that it struck, and yeah, I could have spoken. Like, it was within the realm of possibility, but normally I'm talking from about here, in the upper vocal cords. I would have had to have dug down deep, like right about here, into my chest, just to have any kind of semblance of voice. And I could tell just from testing the waters, or so to speak, that doing that would have just been absolutely, just total destruction of my vocal cords. Like, would have strained them to no end. So, but that's okay. I welcome the break. So yeah, spent a lot of time to say not a whole lot, really. It gave me the opportunity, an excuse to just sit around and play video games all weekend. Got back in the Monster Hunter world. Crazy to think that game's been around for what, 6.5 years, and I'm still playing it. So I get through. What was it? Was it Rise that came out since then? And then you got Wilds coming out in February. So I got a lot of ground to cover. Yeah. Anyway, not here to talk about video games. Might do that if I ever get around to streaming. But yeah, that was just when I brought that up last week, it was just a thought that I had in passing, and based on the responses I got, or lack thereof, I guess it's not really high priority. I'm not the kind of person that people would have any interest in following anyway. So, oh god, there's a segue. Yeah, it's actually the whole purpose that I wanted to do one of my talk therapy sessions here today. Actually, has had to do um, with two topics really. Neither one was really pleasant, but they both spring to mind from time to time, and I just never get around to talking about them. And yeah, it's gonna sound like a whole bunch of fucking whining. So if you're not up for that, get the fuck out of here and come back another time. But for those of you who can stick around and just lend an ear, maybe some constructive, not even constructive advice, just you know, just listen. I mean, that's all I'm asking at this point. But yeah, I just start thinking, and when I'm thinking at work, bad things can happen, to my state of mind. And unfortunately, that's where I started going last night, was thinking, overthinking, reflecting, and kind of just wishing, you know. It's like, I'm sure that any one of you watching could just take a moment and think. There has to be somebody in your life that you consider the most important person, the person that you know means more than any other person, and chances are really good that you are that person to someone else. So I think about that, and the fact of the matter is, I know for a fact that I am not that person to anybody. I'm nobody's favorite, if you will, and honestly, at this point, I can't think of anybody in my life that I could call my favorite either. And it all goes back to my the way that my dating life uh, careened off a cliff, and I'm just I'm left here as just this empty husk of a person. I've tried signing up for things like Facebook dating and other kinds of social things, and even joined a few groups that are not exactly local, more regional, in an effort to try to expand my social circles. But when the time comes for me to actually commit to anything, to go to any events, to reach out you know, and try to talk to someone, I always seize up. I realize that there's what's the point of it? It's like I'm gonna reach out and they might decide to respond for a little bit, but it's my mo. I hold a person's interest for maybe a few days at most, and then they get bored with me. And honestly, if you go through that enough times, you just realize that what's the point? If you know that there's going to be no lasting, no lasting relationship, no lasting bond or anything, it's just you'll be there to entertain a person for a few hours, and then you'll never communicate again. It's like, where's my motivation to keep going with that? And and that's not even factoring my unique circumstances. The whole being the pre-op trans, the whole asexual thing, the whole no men thing. Just a lot of that, and just realize that nah, I'm better off alone. I'm better off not being that person that keeps getting shot down over and over again by people that don't understand, they can't understand, and I just I do wind up a little despondent from time to time because I just realize that I'm never gonna be that special to anyone, and I trace it all back to to how my all of my long term relationships went, and I even got married once, and my spouse decided that I wasn't worth sticking around in Las Vegas for a couple of days. Hopped a plane back to Toronto the next day, and that was the last time we ever saw each other. It's like, got fucking married, but I'm still not good enough to even be worth your consideration. I'm so repulsive that you don't want to spend time with me at all. You can't even stomach 3 days with me in fucking Las Vegas. It's like, okay. Then I come back, you know, a week later, a couple days later, and start trying to inquire about going out there to visit. And I rearranged my entire work schedule around around keeping myself open enough that I could actually make those trips from time to time. And I'm still getting, I still got told no, that I wasn't worth it. So, I mean, when the person that you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with decides that, they can't stand having you around, that just, that just torpedoes your sense of self worth. I just never recovered from it. Of course, my other long term relationships before that, I was always left for someone else. I was always ghosted after years together, and I'm just I got the message. Okay, I got the message that I'm not lovable. I'm not worth anybody's consideration. I'm not that person to anybody. So I just learned to throw in the towel and say, fuck it. Yeah. I know it's kind of, kind of a fatalistic approach, but I've got these scars that just never healed. I know if I start trying to reach out and connect with people again, that's just gonna rip those scars wide open again. And I don't think I want to go through that again. So it's a big part of why I'm just a hermit at home on my days off. So there's that story. I guess it kind of loosely ties in with the other thing I want to talk about. When I was just thinking again, and the topic that kept coming back to my mind was death. I mean, not someone else's death. I mean, yeah, I've had a lot of family members die this year so far. I've already lost a couple, and I decided to distance myself from those relatives in the years since I became an adult, just because I didn't want to deal with the pain of losing someone that I was attached to. But here I am again. I think about, okay, what's going to happen when the time comes when I'm done. I mean, I'm not even going to delve into the whole, the soul and what happens there for the afterlife, because I got theories, but I'm not here to divulge those right now. But what I think about is, I'm gonna die, probably sooner than later. I don't expect to live through retirement age. I'll just put it to you that way. Part lifestyle, part the whole thing with never mind. I guess political, and I'm just not up for that right now. But anyway, so I know that the time's gonna come sooner for me than for most, but when the time comes and we're dealing with my final arrangements, I'm just thinking like, who's really gonna show up to my funeral for one? A couple family members. I mean, I got siblings, but they'd probably be the extent of it, as far as family goes. Maybe a cousin or two. Hmm. But when it comes down to it, how many friends are going to show up? How many you know people that I knew outside of the family? It's not going to be very many, and that a lot of that is because I can't bring myself to get close to people because you know I allow myself to get hurt so much in the past. So I started building walls. And I mean, if anything, I'm being more honest here than I've been with any of my friends, you know, pretty much my entire adult life. Basically, ever since I've been told that, my concerns, my worries, my fears, you know, my anything isn't worth listening to. I forget who it was, but I actually had a friend that told me that, if I want to have my concerns, my opinions, my thoughts listened to, then I need to, quote, have an opinion that's worth hearing. So when I heard that from one of my so called closest friends, I just realized that, yeah, you know, who, who gives a shit? So I try, I'll still make an effort from time to time, try to see if anybody's listening. And lo and behold, 95 times out of 100, no one is. So I just came to realize over the years that it's it's just not meant. I'm gonna keep my friend circle small because I get hurt and people generally just don't like me. But that's secondary to to what I was thinking about, and it's like there are a lot of times when I think about death, and I think, good, I just want to die, get it over with, leave no memory of my existence in this world, because what am I? I'm just a nameless nobody, you know, a transgender freak that half the country, half the world wants dead anyway. So, and then the other half is totally indifferent. So, I don't have a legacy to leave behind. I don't have any works of art. I don't have anything that I've created to leave behind. Give it a generation, and I would be completely wiped from everyone's memories and existence, and I'd be nothing more than a footnote in the family tree. I know, bad comparison, but just I just have a name. That's it, and they probably use my dead name anyway. So anyway, but then I also think I want to have something to be remembered by in 2 generations from now, 3 generations from now. Even if it's something as stupid as this fucking book series I've been trying to write that, I've never been encouraged on. I've never had anyone say they want to read it. I've never had anyone offer words of encouragement when I talk about making good progress or having ideas. It's like, okay, well, where's where's the motivation to keep going with that? So that's why I get discouraged on that one a lot. And it's not like I can leave anything else behind because I can't create shit. I can't draw. I can't really write anything. I can't write music. I mean, all I'm really doing at this point is just running out the clock. I just want to get it over with, check out, be done with this life. But to do that, generally death involves a lot of pain beforehand. And that's really the only reason I'm still here. Because I'm too much of a goddamn coward to make the cut, to pull the trigger, to do whatever, to take the pills. Just none of that. I just can't do it because I'm worried about the pain. But yeah, that's my life. I think about it a lot. Wonder why I keep going on. But yeah, I'm gonna stop this here. I'm tired. Progesterone's kicking in again, making me tired, making me sleepy. So with that said, I'm gonna get up and turn the camera off and then go to bed. So hope you weren't all too bored with this, but if you were, sorry I wasted your time. That seems to be my best skill is wasting people's time. Anyway, I will upload again later. I'll see ya.